Jason, good to see you again. Welcome back to Popternative, man.
Petey, good to see you. How's everything?
Everything's good. Everything's good. You're back. You're back with Edward's Desserts, and 25 years of American Pie. I mean, I just there's it's just like it's crazy.
Yes, it is.
There's a limited edition new pie that they could check out, and people will never guess what the flavor is, right?
You'll never guess. You'll never guess the inspiration for this latest collaboration I've done with Edwards. Yes. So, Petey, here we are, 25 years after the release of the original American Pie. Myself and Edwards, we have this continued partnership, and we've decided to celebrate the 25-year anniversary with the release of an anniversary apple pie. Mm-hmm. But of course, an Edwards zhuzhed up version. This is not just any ordinary apple pie. We've got vanilla cookie crust. We have spiced apple compote. We've got white chocolate cream. We've got salted caramel. It's a whole situation. And, and additionally, we put out this, what I think is a really fun and funny spot commercial that we made. Basically, it's a reimagined version of the original pie scene from the movie.
The Repeat, it is called officially.
It's called The Repeat, and I am essentially playing the Eugene role. I am the dad role this time, and it's really sweet and it's really funny. And and you can go to pieloversunite.com for those of you at home, and you can actually win this pie and some American Pie memorabilia from now until June 26th.
That line, we'll just tell your mother we ate it.
That we ate it all. I mean, I did my best. I mean, no one can be Eugene but Eugene, but I did my absolute best to parrot Eugene's line reading there. I think I did a pretty good job.
No, you did a great job. No, absolutely. Yeah. You did a really good job. It's interesting, too, because last time we chatted, I talked to you about how, these movies are some of my favorites of all time. Me and my sister quote all these things, and we quote a lot of things that you never heard before that people quote, right? Like the whole, she's on the phone, Nadia and everything. And then there's like a new one too, like when you're at the party, remember? Regurgitation.
Yes.
Is it crazy to think about the fact that there's like 95 quotes that could be kind of used every day from your films?
Yes, it is. It's all crazy. I really, it's not lost on me how unique and ridiculous and special and absurd all of this is. And especially because it's been 25 years, I now have perspective and a real understanding and appreciation of the fact that something like this does not come along that often.
Yeah.
Not just for an actor, but for viewers. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a movie that has connected in such a real way with people, with a certain generation, meaning our generation for sure. But now it's connecting with other people too. It's wild.
So many movies would not have existed if it wasn't for the American Pie movies. We said that last time, but it's crazy to think about.
It is crazy to think about. And look, we wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for certain movies before us. But it's obviously, for me, it's a role that as an actor, it was such a special role. I so loved playing this guy comedically. There was a sweetness, there was an awkwardness, there was all the stuff. I just loved doing it.
Jim is a good dude. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Yes. And, he gets himself into these situations no matter how hard he tries not to. And there's an innocence there, but an absolute, hilarity that comes with that. But it's so much fun. And so the fact that people still want to talk to me about it, the fact that people still come up to me and quote lines from it, it's crazy.
And, I talked about my favorite things, the music, right? Some of my favorite bands I discovered through American Pie films, specifically Blink-182. We got to chat about Blink a little bit here, Jason. I mean, two songs that kind of stand out from Blink in American Pie, obviously, is Mutt, when, Jim is running back to his house with the webcam of Nadia. And then the second film opens up with Every Time I Look For You, which is like one of my favorite Blink-182 songs. Do you have a favorite in between those two of your favorite kind of Blink-182 songs in an American Pie movie?
I think Mutt. I do think Mutt is Yeah, and partly because of that scene, you know, I think the music coordinator on that, supervisor on that movie was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I think it just fits so perfectly. I love Blink-181, Blink-182. The fact that they're in the movie, you know, is just wild. I mean, I really, you know, I'd love to run into Travis Barker. I would love to see him and just see if he's like, man, I was in your movie.
I know.
I'm sure he wouldn't. I'm sure he wouldn't.
I just think for like American Pie 2, because like it's just the opening, right? Like when we see Jim in college and everything, it's just like we're back, baby. You know what I mean? Like Blink-182 to start that. That's why it always like hit hard for me. You know what I mean? Like we were back with another movie, Blink-182, not wasting any time.
Yeah, totally.
Which
it sets the story right away.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do want to ask too, because, you know, you can also, you know, answer this in regards to kind of the journeys of, you know, working with Edwards Desserts and everything, but like, it's all storytelling and so much happens before you start go to camera on a project or film something, right? Whether we're talking about the American Pie films or the repeat that you just did. There's so many conversations before you go to camera. So in a lot of ways, from a storytelling acting perspective, it's like two journeys, right? Before filming something and after filming something. Do you look at it as two journeys, or do you see it as one big journey with multiple steps? I'm just curious about that.
That's a really great question. The latter, I think, is how I would see it. And I would even say that there's a third step, which is there's the pre, there's the post, but then there's the actual shooting, which, you know, depending on your role within the production, you know, as an actor, it's you know, you have kind of the during, mostly. And then afterwards, you know, if you're promoting it or whatever, it just depends on your involvement. You know, with my partnership at Edwards and my friends at Edwards, it was, you know, when we first talked about doing something together, I had brought up this idea of doing you know, a reimagining of the pie scene. And so it was something we all liked and tried to get into motion. And what we did was we ended up doing some other spots first and some other, you know, worked on some other things first, and then timed this with the 25th anniversary in a very, you know, organic way. We have this. So, yeah, this has been a really fun process for me to be involved in this. And, yeah, but that's it. It's one journey. It's like one long journey. And, you know, the American Pie thing, it's a journey I'm still on.
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, it's so crazy, man. And I'm so happy for you and everything. And very quickly, for a wrap up, where can they check out this anniversary Edwards apple pie?
Yeah, of course. So if you go to pieloversunite.com, you can enter to win one of these amazing Edwards anniversary apple pies. You could also win some American Pie memorabilia. But yeah, between now and June 26th, pieloversunite.com. You could also go to Edwards and my social channels to check out this really funny and sweet spot that we did. And yeah,
awesome. Jason, again, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thank you so much for coming back on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Petey. Thanks for having me back on.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.